In part 2 of our SAC 1000 once-over, we want to focus on in-the-field use. If you haven't seen the overall of the unit in part 1 yet, a link to that video is in the description below. While doing our daily trap check, it's obvious that we had some activity around the unit that requires more detailed inspection. What I've got here is the Select to Catch foot snare. This has been set for a while. I've had activity around here. I wanted to make sure it was still working since we didn't have a catch, so I went ahead and I fired it off. I'm going to go ahead and reset this now and show you how simple this is. The reason I chose this location is I have a trail that's right here. About 2.5 weeks ago, I had a coyote running down this trail, come right out into a yard that's over here. So I know that I've got activity. I know that this is a good spot to go ahead and put this. So let me show you what I've done. When I first put it in, all I did was I made this really shallow trench for this to go ahead and set in. That is so I can go ahead and get it closer down to the ground, make it level. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in. Then I'm going to go ahead and anchor it down. You do need to have a hammer in order to set this trap. Now, I always overdo everything, so I believe the directions say that you only have to put in 2 of the nails that come with this, and then you have a 5th one comes back here. This also acts as your safety catch. There's a hole right there. Once I've got the trap set, I can put that in, and that way it's not going to fire off on me. So let me remove the protective cover, and this is why you need to have the hammer. You got to take the claw, stick it into this back portion of the trigger, slide it forward, see how that locked in. Now I can put that other nail in here and I know that this is safe. I don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to take my snare, which I have a cable around this tree, have an anchor to that. Make sure to go ahead and put those pieces around. That was me pushing down on the trigger, so I just fired the trap. So the black bit on the snare cable, that goes either here or here onto the trap. It's all based upon where you have your trap actually wired off to. Let me go quickly. There, I've got it back. The red one goes into the actual trigger itself. Maybe go about a 1/4 of an inch up from the base of here. And then on your cover here, you have some writing that goes towards the front of the trap. So it sets just like that. And now it's just a matter of blending it in. So I can take all this duff I've got here, cover up my chain, cover up the base, get good and close. Now for my chain here, I really don't want to be covering that with this pine needle, just like you don't want to be using long grass, because what will happen is the chain will actually collect that as the trap fires. So all I'm going to do, kind of dig down a little bit, find my hammer wherever I put it. Because I don't have my sifter with me, I've got to make kind of a make-proof sifter, just 1/2 inch PVC coated wire here. I'm just gonna remember, know where your treadle is. It's right here for me on this one. Because you don't want to go through the work here and then accidentally fire it off like I did. And I can put a stepping guide right here. And I can also do stepping guides over this way. Oh, that hurt. that. All I'm trying to do is hide the shine of the chain and the cable. That's all I'm trying to do here. You saw how good my makeshift sifter worked for me, which is why I abandoned it. I just want to put a couple pieces of that in there. And then I'm going to take my 5th spike and actually just put it in the back there. That's kind of like my holding spot for it. Now all I have to do is fence down my pathway here so I can get the animals walking where I want them to walk. Just like any other trapping thing that you're doing. And I want to make sure that I have this open because my trail goes like this, so animal's going to come this way, come right to about where I am. Here's a nice little opening for it. Make sure I rough up where I was at. And then that's it. We've got it all set and ready to go. Hopefully we'll have something soon. As you can see, we definitely had some activity. Unfortunately, it just wasn't the coyote that we were after. The breakaway lock is still firmly attached to the chain on the snare, but this just goes to show how species specific the foot snare actually is.